Getting ungated on Amazon FBA is a big roadblock for 99% of beginner Amazon sellers, but in this video, I'm going to show you how step by step, even as a completely brand new Amazon seller, you can get ungated to sell big brands in categories like toys, Lego, beauty, grocery, Nike, Adidas, and Converse this week. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Miles. I'm a 25-year-old seven-figure Amazon seller living here in Miami on a mission to help as many of you guys as possible smash past your Amazon seller goals. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to give you a list of auto ungate Asins that you can get ungated in today for free completely as a beginner. No invoices needed. So let's get right into the video. Here inside my screen, and we're going to start out talking about getting ungated in all the big shoe and apparel brands like Nike, Adidas, Converse, Under Armour, etc. I like using Champ Sports for these ungates, and what I'm also going to do in this video is show you guys how to actually go ahead and apply for ungating and an example of a sample invoice too that I've personally used to get ungated. So Champs, Foot Locker, any of the brand websites are all going to work in terms of ungating these big brands, ASOS as well, ASOS. Right there, what I like to do is just find a cheap product. So like, for example, Nike headbands is a great place to start, or like Adidas socks or whatever. Just cheap stuff that's also listed on Amazon. So we can see like Nike swoosh headbands here. We can go over on Amazon. We can take a look. These are 15 bucks. Plugging that in on SellAmp, we're definitely not going to make money on that, but we're only going to end up losing $1.67 a unit. You just want to do this for the ungate. Right now, you could do product research and actually find something profitable from one of these big websites. However, I think as a beginner, just to get this stuff done, because a lot of people are really worried about ungating for some reason, because some people were around back when I was getting started in 2019 when it was really difficult, or at least the free information didn't exist. A lot of people try to sell ungating guides, which is kind of crazy. So I got you guys for free and such, but legit, all you got to do, right, is so we just find a cheap product that's also listed on Amazon here, and then we just pull the ASIN, which we can do from the URL up here or from SellerAmp over here. So if you want a full tutorial of how to actually do product research, you can check out my other videos on that stuff. But we can see all we do is find a cheap item right there. Foot Locker, Champs, Converse, etc. work for those, and then we just go ahead. Once you purchase that, you have an order confirmation email of 10. You just want to download that email as a PDF, which is really easy to do just from your email page. And then you want to name the invoice ASIN _ invoice _ date. So you want to pull the ASIN, plug that in, pull the date, plug that in, and then put invoice in the middle, and then also put that in the notes page of the submission too and such. And then for Lego, for example, lego.com or like Kohl's, for any of these toy brands, right? So like lego.com, what we do, we can see pick up 10 of these keychains also listed on Amazon over here. We can see we can pull the ASIN right there and take a look at that. It's also important to note, guys, that you might get declined a couple times for the ungates. It's actually, I almost guarantee you will. Do not look at what Amazon says in their response. Please trust me and keep submitting. On those, they might even ask you to submit with new info, so it's not going to hurt if they ask that. Just go ahead and plug in like the credit card statement, a picture of the UPS tracking showing that I'm delivered, maybe a picture of the product and such. But to get started, the easiest way is definitely going to be just doing 10 and ordering 10 and then doing the order confirmation email downloaded as a PDF named ASIN invoice date right there. And then that'll get it done. But you might have to submit a couple times. This is just an automated system. The clients don't look at what they say. Just please trust me, keep doing it, and you will get approved. Right here, in terms of beauty and grocery, I like this site called Frontier Co-op right here. Burt's Bees is a really good one to get that done. So we just go like brands here. We can go down to B, Burt's Bees here, for example. And then what we need to do from there is find an item that's also listed on Amazon, ideally pretty cheap too. So like we'd find one of these that's also listed on Amazon here. We go ahead and purchase 10. It's also important to note that as you get deeper into the game, guys, you might come across sites that limit you to 5, but something's really profitable and you need to get ungated. A lot of people don't know that you can actually get the requirement for ungating is either an invoice or invoices totaling 10 plus or a letter of authorization from the brand. The first one's way easier to get. And the key is you could actually get ungated with 10 invoices of 1 unit each. Right now, the best way is going to be 1 invoice of 10 plus each just for simplicity, but you could do that if you needed to. So if you ever run into a website that has order limits, that's how you're going to solve that right there. So we can see nice and easy, just find a Burt's Bees product. Same thing for grocery, but really it's important to note, guys, all big websites work, like obviously Chance for these brands, lego.com, Kohl's, all this stuff works. And eventually, like I said, if you guys stick around to the end of this video, you're going to see the auto ungate ASIN list. You're going to be able to get it approved in a ton of stuff, legit today, even as a complete beginner and such. So ungating is really easy. I, don't want you overthinking it. Just find 10 on a big retail website. These ones specifically are the ones I typically have a lot of my guys use, ASOS, Champs, etc. You nicely easy get that done. and such. And then here's an example of a sample invoice that I've actually used to get ungated here. So we can see this was from Eastbay back when Eastbay existed. What I did in this case is I didn't use the email. I actually reached out to them separately and got them to send me a formal invoice here, but I've used a ton of order confirmation emails as well. And this was also almost 3 years ago when ungating was significantly harder than it is today and such. So we can see I just ordered 10 of these. Actually, the swoosh headbands, you can see they're a lot more expensive now. Actually, right there, we can nicely get that done and such. And so we can see ordered 10 right here, quantity ships. This was actually after they shipped. So if you want to get like an invoice from Champs and you don't want to use the email, I definitely recommend just using the email. I think it's easier. You want to wait till they ship the product here. And then, like I said, if you really, really, really want to shore up your chances, you can include like tons of information in the submission. Order confirmation email, the credit card statement, a picture of the products, the shipping email, the delivered email. You just want to make it as easy as possible for them to say yes. But at the bare baseline, most people do just end up using order confirmation emails downloaded as PDF. So we can see I spent $60 to get Ungated and Nike. Nike's made me well over 6 figures in profit the past couple of years. So it's incredibly worth it to just get that done and everything. And, you definitely just, don't want to sleep on this. If you're a complete beginner, ideally get ungated in do the auto ungates for sure. And then get ungated in some brands that, fit your interests and such. Like I'm an athlete, so I've always liked doing Nike, Adidas, Puma, etc. So that's what I got going with initially. I did Adidas from Eastbay as well. I did Crocs from Eastbay as well. Crocs IP complaints, so I think so. Don't sell those. But I did Puma.com from the Puma website. I did Fila from Champs. Recently, Eastbay obviously is shut down, so now Foot Locker and Champs are the ones that kind of fit in this place here. But now let's go ahead and jump inside my Amazon Seller Central and show you guys how to actually apply to get ungated in this specific product. So within Amazon Seller Central, what you want to do is go in the top right, and then we can go ahead here and hit Catalog, and then hit Add Product right here. And now what we want to do is pull the ASIN that we got from up here in there. Now I have an example of one that I actually am currently gated in right here. So I want to go and add that in right there. Then we can hit search. And now we want to go ahead here and we can see the specific product and go to select condition, hit new right here, and then hit apply to sell right here. And then we want to request approval right there. Sometimes it'll automatically unlock you. We can see this one, it's not right here. So now you just go ahead and select all of these right here. And then you go ahead and select file. And then you'd go ahead and plug in this right here. It's normal that they might decline you once or twice, basically, but you just upload that in. I'd recommend naming the file, basically like the invoice, copy and paste it, like invoice for Amazon for ASIN, copy and paste the ASIN. Something like that. But yeah, it's really that simple, guys. I know some of you guys watching this were doing Amazon back in 2019, 2020, when it was difficult to get ungated. Luckily, it's really easy now, and it was an absolutely game changer in terms of me going ahead and getting and building a pretty good Amazon business my first year, making over 6 figures profit, basically. So this is the list of auto ungate ASINs we put together for you guys. So this is just a gigantic list of different ASINs. A lot of these brands are going to be auto ungated. So even if you're a complete beginner, you're not going to need an invoice to get ungated in these. So what I'd recommend doing is you take a look at this down below in the description, go ahead and download this guide, and then you're going to be able to get ungated in a ton of stuff and just start selling it literally this week and everything. There's several hundred brands here. At least 100 of them are going to work for auto ungates. Some of them aren't, but the vast majority of them are. So I really recommend getting going with that. Then it's important to note too that the longer your Amazon account's been around, the more stuff is going to be automatically ungated too, right? So you want to go through as many of these as you can and then understand over time more and more of them are going to be automatically approved. But in general, once you've been selling on Amazon for a little while, if you ever were to find these items profitably, you'd be buying 10 anyway from a big retailer that's going to work for ungating too. So I'd recommend going down below in the description. You can go ahead and download the auto ungate ASIN list and go ahead and try listing some of these and actually getting ungated in some of these products legit today so you can get going with the stuff. Then if you guys got any questions, please let me know down below in the comments. Subscribe if you want to see more helpful content. And then I'm going to put up on the screen right now a seller amp tutorial and a Keepa tutorial that break down how I actually do product research and product analysis. And I'll see you guys in the next one.